Hi everyone and welcome to Cooking in Manhattan. Today I want to show you how to make a very quick and tasty dish of fried shrimp and zucchini. But I am going to use something that is just off the boat, and it's a water that we actually drink in Italy. You are probably used to the sparkling water with a name that sounds Italian, but it's actually Swiss. Well, let me check. Swiss people are great at cheese, they're great at chocolate, they're great at watches, but they're not great at water. For Italian water, the real Italian deal, you want to try acqua ferrarelle. Let's take a look at the ingredients for this fried shrimp and zucchini. We have, of course, shrimp. I am using shrimp that has been deveined and the shell has been removed, but there is still a little bit of the tail, and I will show you why this is actually very important. Then I cut my zucchini just a little bit thicker than a julienne. This is actually only one zucchini. Then I will be using 2 cups of all-purpose flour, about 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a pinch of salt, but I will add it to taste at the end of the process. And then to make this batter nice and light, I will use acqua ferrarelle. There is a reason why we use carbonated water, so if you cannot find ferrarelle, you might want to try with soda water or sparkling water, because that little bit of carbon actually gives a oomph to the baking powder, so it creates a shell around whatever we fry and makes it very, very crunchy and light. Let's take a look at how to make the batter. I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and I am going to mix all the dry ingredients first. So I have more or less 1 tablespoon of kosher salt, and then 1 teaspoon of baking powder. There you go. And then I already opened I'm going to whisk them around first to combine everything together so that everything is completely combined, and especially the baking powder is spread throughout all the flour. And now I am going to start adding the ferrarelle water. I add a little bit at a time so that it actually creates a nice batter that is smooth, and you don't have any one of those little balls of flour that are so not tasty. So let me add a little bit more. I will whip together the batter and then I will show you how it looks like. The batter is ready when it looks a little bit like cream or half and half, but it has the texture very similar to the one of milk. So you have to add as much water as possible to reach that texture and that consistency. Consider also that I cannot necessarily tell you how much water it takes, because it depends on the amount of humidity that is in your flour and also the amount of humidity that is in the air. So the next step actually will be that of dredging in flour the zucchini and then the shrimp. This is necessary because otherwise, as you can see, the batter almost slips off completely, but we need to actually make it stick. So I am going to just discard this one and take the zucchini and put them in, dredge them lightly in flour. So let's take the example of this one, for example. So this is a zucchini dredged in flour, and now, as you can see, it actually creates a thicker layer of batter. So I am going to start frying the zucchini first, because we don't want the zucchini fried after the shrimp, otherwise they would taste like shrimp, and we want them to taste exactly the way they are, zucchini. So I have the canola oil that is already cooking, is already heating in a pan, and I'm going to start cooking this first. The oil is hot in our frying pan, so I'm going to start adding the zucchini one by one so that they don't cluster together and they cook perfectly. They take actually very little time cooking, so you want to cook them in batches very quickly. Just be careful not to burn yourself. I placed a baking sheet with a rack and some towels, some kitchen towels already on my stove, so that I can then remove this, let's call it zucchini tempura, and just place it over the rack so that my fried zucchini will be super crunchy when we are done. So I'm going to finish cooking the other batches, and then we are going to start on our shrimp. Now I'm going to use exactly the same technique for shrimp. So this is my shrimp. I am going to dredge it lightly and just shake it a little bit. So here it is, and then I will dip it in here and place it in the hot oil. So we are ready to taste our tempura Italian style. So I'm going to start with the zucchini. So tasty, so light and crunchy. And now, what about a shrimp? Look at this. This is the tempura Italian style with acqua ferrarelle, and this shrimp, I'm sure, is perfectly cooked on the inside. As you can see, the batter is light enough that you can see the shrimp is pink inside. So very good. Sorry, I took a really big bite. Well, this, as you could hear, this tempura is very crunchy, and this is the best way to fry shrimp Italian style. I would like to thank Acqua Ferrarelle for bringing to the United States my favorite sparkling water. Now I can finally order it in every restaurant in New York City and throughout the United States. But now, turn off the computer and get cooking. I'll see you again on the next Cooking in Manhattan. Ciao!